Hello and welcome back to episode 24 of the podcast
Ooh.
for the recently deceased. I'm Nate
Oh
Roberts.
yeah. I'm Rodney Godek. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right. It's been a good night. I'm excited to talk about this next movie. So, if anyone's been with us for the last two episodes tonight, these are all indie movies tonight. We
Indeed.
indeed we did the Leech. We just
A
finished
wounded
up. We did a
fawn
Wounded Fawn, and now we're
and the
on
leech.
tonight or tonight. Yeah, right now we will dis- we will discuss a Christmas Bloody Christmas. It's Christmas
Fucking
Eve,
best
and
toast.
Tori just wants to get drunk and party. But when a robotic Santa Claus at a nearby toy store goes haywire and begins a rampant killing spree through her small town, she's forced into a battle for survival. Written and
Fucking
directed by Joe Bagos, starring Riley Dandy, Sam Delick, and Jonah Ray. Um, I'm gonna side
sorry.
note. I'm,
I just like you said bagels. I don't know if it's pronounced bagels, but I just heard bagels and it just
yeah,
sounded great.
Jeff Bagels.
What do you are you wait, hold on, did I hear you say you're about to sidebar
I'm
something?
gonna sidebar right away. I'm gonna sidebar right off the
Fucking
bat.
early sidebar.
Sidebar.
2 minute in sidebar.
Jeremy Gardner and Skipper Graham both have characters in this movie.
Yeah. Look, I'm telling you. I think it's through Jeff Begos that these look the indie community, from what I gather, is relatively small, especially with niche horror type films like this. They're all talking to one another, and they all want to support and promote one another. And so things like this happen where there's just all these layers and layers of them working and helping out with each other's films, and it's awesome to see. That's in part why I never like to dig on a movie and shit on it. There are certain times where I'm comfortable with it, and there's other times that I'm not, and it's all subjective. So fuck off if you like my opinion or not. It's you got to be true to thy own self. And so, uh, long story short, Christmas Bloody Christmas for me was the Christmas horror movie that I was hoping I would get this year. And I really liked it.
I agree. In fact, I'm going to reference Black Friday from last Christmas season as the horror movie I hoped it could have been but wasn't. And Christmas Bloody Christmas delivered the way Black Friday didn't last year.
Yeah, the way Santa does
The way
every
Santa
fucking year,
does. That's
it
right.
delivered.
Um, so Christmas Bloody Christmas.
Cool. Yeah. Let's
Um,
just carry
let's
on that
just
energy. Yeah, man.
yeah, let's go. All right. Uh, beautifully shot.
Also on
Neon,
film.
also on film. Neon everywhere,
I think. Yes. Neon, fucking saturation,
everywhere.
VFX snow, some that's practical, maybe some that's digital, but I think that it was just like a snow machine. I think they had a truck. Fucking great effects,
The
dude.
yes, the practical effects for all the kills were excellent. I mean, okay, they were very obviously dummy bodies. Whereas sometimes,
Yes, and
hold on, I'm just saying, like when you crush a head, sometimes it's just the head that you know is fake, and the body still looks pretty good and real. Not in this movie. When they could just hit a body, the whole body was fake, and you knew it.
that's fair. And sometimes it's done to great effect where it's like it's perfect that they use the dummy, because there's a scene where like a fucking body gets thrown and
Yeah,
it's so hilariously obviously a dummy that
yeah,
it just makes it that much more enjoyable,
right.
because it's it takes you out in a way that is very rewarding and engaging when you're watching a movie like this, because it's you know Who
Well, yeah.
cares?
Not to
What am I going
mention,
to do? Am I going to put a fucking rig with wires and have an actual
yeah,
actor thrown against the Christmas tree?
right,
No, that's just dumb. Let's just throw a fucking dummy. It'll be hilarious.
yeah.
And
It's
it is.
well, also, you know what? It's to wait. It's 10 pounds, and the guy in the robot suit just flings it across the room. They're like, you don't need.
He's a robot, Nate.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
got fucking superhuman
exactly.
strength.
You don't need wires for that shit. You're just throwing these like light things across the, you know. Uh, so some great effects. If I have to nitpick, and I'm going to,
Because yeah, why wouldn't you
why
rain on this
wouldn't
parade?
the dialogue. All right. First of all, beautifully acted.
Okay, let's tell you the dialogue. Okay, you don't have to don't shit sandwich your neg. Just get right to the neg.
All right. Uh, I feel like, and this is my guess here, and it's okay if this is what happened. A lot of the dialogue was improvised. Like,
There's
like here's the gist.
maybe
Like here's the
maybe
gist. This is the gist of what I want you to say. Say it in your own words, or say it in the character's words. I think he gave a lot of rein to the actors because I feel like the dialogue was very juvenile. The use of fuck like 2 to 3 times per sentence from every character seemed fairly unrealistic.
well, what the fuck is wrong with that, brother? Because I think it's pretty fucking cool.
It,
All right, I don't know what the fuck you got against it, but
I
it's
don't
a fucking cool, versatile fucking word.
I don't have anything against the word fuck. I love its
Well,
use.
here's the thing. Okay, so I mean, I don't know. We don't know if Joe Bagels, Schmear Bagel,
Wrote
Lox
every
cream
single
cheese.
word.
It's hard to say because I do know. I listened to a couple interviews because I really enjoyed this movie, and I do know like his feelings. Riley's her character is Tori.
Yeah,
Her thoughts
Tori.
on T2 as being superior, or no, Pet Cemetery 2 as being superior to Pet Cemetery,
Yeah.
is a belief that he has, or that he thinks that it deserves more attention than it does.
Right.
He did mention that, like, he wants to have a film that talks about in a meta kind of way how Pet Cemetery 2 is a fantastic film.
Right.
So I know that he wanted that to be in the film. So I'm kind of believing in the way that they're so casual about it. I thought, here's the thing, you mentioned it as sort of like a questionable thing. I think that the dialogue and all the character interaction is very strong in this, and is so good that it keeps you engaged through the slower moments to be really engaged when the kills start to fucking happen. I really liked it. Maybe I'm a bit of a noob or a rube when it comes to metal and the way that like this is very much a basement media type store that they're running. And
I gotta say, I loved that about the movie.
Yeah. But I also think that maybe you're more critical because you know these niche cultures more than I do. I haven't lived this experience as much,
Right.
very, very, very little. And so maybe the way that they converse is such that you see it as disingenuine a little bit. I don't know.
I mean, I thought the references were good, but to the point where there were so many of them, it, you know, like,
just felt like riffing to you.
Yeah, when Kevin Smith did it in Clerks, it was funny, but he didn't do it as often. And in this movie, it's just like bam, bam, bam. Like I get what you're trying to do there, and so it's pulled off because the chemistry between these people and their acting was so good. It was so good. I just thought, you know, there were moments where the dialogue pulled me out just because I was like, dude, you said fuck 3 times in the same sentence. Like this,
right? But then it stuck it right back in, dude, and you fucking loved the way it felt.
Oh yeah,
so
no, it was dude. The movie's great. The movie's great. It's just, you know, like I said before I even started this conversation, I'm nitpicking here.
oh, he started the conversation. Yeah, no, you're right. But fuck that, you know. So you know,
But fuck that.
Look, the characters are excellent in the way that all of that other stuff, which is, you know, in a lot of these kind of movies, it's a tertiary element to what we're really interested in as a horror moviegoer. And so but it has to be executed well in order for you to have like a buy-in for wanting to see what happens or transpires with the characters. You
Right.
need to see growth or development, and you want to see like the journey, as far as their hero journey or a final girl type thing. The interactions, the slower quote unquote parts of the movie have to be written and acted in such a way that you're still engaged and interested, and it can stand on its own when it's not bonkers bananas slasher. And this movie does it very well. The chemistry is awesome. So yeah, I mean, we're still in the beginning of our thing here, so let's just fucking finish.
Right.
For
Right.
me, Christ. Okay, I think look, the way I'm talking about it, I want to give this an 8, but I know that I landed at a 7 with it. It's very good. There's opportunities. It's not 100% like doesn't do. There are issues, a couple questionable things. If I'm nitpicking, so I'm landing at a 7 for Christmas, Bloody Christmas.
I also gave Christmas Bloody Christmas a 7 out of 10.
Oh my God! Hey, there's no inverse or anything going on
Yeah.
tonight, man.
Yeah, that's right.
We're in line.
Like we used to be.
Yeah, let's get back to those good old days. We're getting there.
We're getting there.
Our top 5, who knows what's going to
Oh
happen?
my
It
god,
could
our
be
top five's gonna be crazy. I
yeah.
can't wait for it. All right, so spoiler season on this movie. Geez. I loved. All right, so it's her, Tori, and
Robbie
the
Reynolds.
Robbie, right? Um, so they've got to bring some booze to her friend, who's gonna fuck
Hmm.
her husband in a toy store overnight because they both work there. They do it every year on Christmas,
Yeah.
I guess. All
Yeah.
right, so this is how it starts, and the a lot a lot of dialogue. Like there's
Yeah.
so much dialogue in this movie. It's okay though. It's like
It's perfect. It's
yeah,
necessary. It's valid. Everything they're talking about, it feels like a night of their fucking mundane lives
right.
in the
Uh,
situations that they're in. It feels very naturalistic.
so when they get to the toy store, conversation continues. The dialogue is really moving this movie along. There's like not a lot of action to this point, but when they leave, you get that slow pan of this Santa Claus, um,
Hmm.
which immediately goes to they're at a bar, and there's a news broadcast of this Santa Claus is being recalled nationwide, worldwide
Hmm.
because of defective. It was reprogrammed from a military
Right.
robot to be a robot Santa Claus, and some of
Yep.
them are going back to their old programming.
Yep.
Um, and they're not even listening to this news broadcast, but as
Yeah.
the
She asked them to turn it off
yeah,
because
so
they're
turn
just
this
like, "Hey,
crap up.
yeah."
Yeah,
So it's very tropey, traditional type exposition that occurs with the characters, paying homage, but still it works in this movie. You don't question it. It's
yeah.
kind of like comforting. This is like a warm blanket of a type thing. When movies follow the formula in this way, you know that they're aware of the formula existing and they're
Yeah,
using it to effect to just have their fun story.
yeah.
And so you know to just like relax and go along with it. And it puts you in the right state of mind to just enjoy and soak up all the cool shit that's going to happen.
So I like that you said use that word relaxed because I was not relaxed because I was worried about the body count being too low.
Oh,
Like right
sure.
away, I'm like, there's not enough people. Oh no,
You're not seeing enough characters. You're seeing
there's
them two
yeah.
and those other
They're
two.
gonna kill 4 people and that movie's gonna be over and I'm gonna be like, what the fuck? All right, so
Yeah. Pay
so
attention, Ty West. Okay.
yeah, kill more people in your movies,
Yeah.
especially
Fucking
especially
Maxine.
especially
If you
Pearl. Oh
let
my
us
god.
down.
All right, so Santa Claus kills the friends. This dude Robbie's been trying to bang Tori the whole night. Tori was supposed to bang this guy on Tinder. Blah 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 blah. They're going at it. Um,
Who's going at it?
Tori and Robbie upstairs in her house where her sister's staying with them, right?
Okay. I'm okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh?
Uh, this crazy Santa Claus I think it somehow saw Tori or tried to track Tori because it saw Tori and Robbie leave the store earlier, and so it tried to follow them, but
Hmm.
it went to the neighbor's house instead. So that
Yeah, it was the
it's
first one
it's
on the way up
perspective
there.
for the way it saw them. So it goes into the neighbor's house, kills the husband first, then kills the wife. Then the boy goes, "Oh, Santa Claus, did you bring me presents?" And he starts to open them, and he's like, "Oh, fucking clothes again." And then the he just drops the axe right on this kid.
Yeah.
Uh, but when that happens, Tori is getting a drink or something and changing the record from a break during her encounter with Robbie, and
Uh huh.
she sees the kid get axed and starts to freak out. Um, let's get a phone. Call the police. They can't find a phone. They wake up the sister and the sister's sister's boyfriend, who's played by Graham Skipper.
Hey, you got it
Yeah,
right. All right.
and they're freaking out. Everybody's freaking out. Uh, Especially Graham Skipper's character. Graham Skipper's character is very pissed off that they are
Well,
bothering
he
him.
doesn't get it. Yes, he's like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
There's nothing wrong. He's still talking loudly. They're all in hushy type tones, and he's kind of like, what's the big deal, guys? I don't know what's going on. You're acting really fucking weird. And they're like trying to get him to recognize, and he
right.
just doesn't. Right.
So so Santa comes in and just axes him, and then he grabs the sister and snaps her neck, twists her head right around. I couldn't believe so these kills, and as a slasher fan, and once again, this is more like a spree, um,
Right.
kind of like Silent Night, Deadly Night. Actually, it feels a lot like the first Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Mm.
Um, Killing the sister, I thought was an interesting choice, right? Like normally, that character's going to survive a lot longer, or maybe even make
Right.
it to the end.
If there's some sort of a connection to the lead, then you kind of feel
Yeah,
confident that they'll stick around longer than this one
right,
does, because it's very much meet and then dispatch right away.
right. So they get out and they get into a vehicle, and then and this was foreshadowed when they drove up to her house. She's like, "Oh, that fucking asshole parked like an asshole again." And
Hmm.
then this time, when they're leaving, they're getting out of there fast. They crash right into the guy's parked car, um, which they set up beautifully. And then this sequence, I once again completely surprised. They just kill Robbie, and you're like, what? Like Robbie's supposed to make it to the end with Tori. Um, and some cops show up and they die, and she steals the cop car and skeedats. But then she gets arrested because she stole the cop car. So now we're like, this is Jeremy Gardner's character, uh, who arrests her, and we're at the police precinct now. And if you're drawing parallels between um, Christmas Bloody Christmas and the original Terminator, there are a lot of them. And the original Terminator, people might classify as sci-fi or whatever. I think that is a straight up slasher movie. I have always categorized Terminator as a horror movie,
Yeah,
and this was so reminiscent in such a good way. Like it wasn't like joking about it. It was paying tribute to it, in my opinion.
of course. Yeah, it's hard not to notice the when there's a robot that is running amok. I think it's very obvious that they are aware he's not. They're talking about Terminator or Pet Cemetery and things of that. So yes, it knows what it's doing.
Yeah. Did you want to take over?
And just describe the rest of the movie, not
Oh,
particularly.
you don't have to describe the rest of the movie. I mean, uh, we're at the precinct, right? so
Yeah.
so a bunch of cool things happen, right? Like he loses his
For Rambo First Blood
yeah
at this point.
he loses his arm, right? Which Terminator also lost his arm in the final fight. Like this feels it's a final fight between Tori and the Terminator, and I'm right there in the warehouse with Linda Hamilton and the
Yeah.
T1 and the T800 at the end of the first Terminator. Like it it's that scene. I mean, obviously shot in a very different way because they don't have a crusher or anything like that. Like she has to. I think she shoots him up with a shotgun a few times, which only incapacitates him for a short while. She runs him over a few times, and we get the Jason quick sit up, which I thought was very nice. Um, what else did we like? Did you like about the end there?
The fact that it was sort of this unstoppable killing machine that continued to revive itself when you thought it was done and handled was done to great effect in this movie because it always kept you engaged. Where another film would have just been done with it, this one didn't, and it kept um weakening and altering its appearance and its execution. And like by the time it's like it got the green fucking laser lights that are
Yeah,
going everywhere with its like silly skull, robot skull, and half of a Santa beard, and just kind of like bobbly head, like looking at shit. It was fucking rad, man. Like the visuals that it allowed them to create that made sense thematically with the events of what was occurring and how it looked on screen was so much fun. The fact that it continued to fuck her up pretty good, that
yeah,
she
oh
wasn't just
yeah,
like completely unaffected, like her hand getting fucked up, her leg getting fucked up,
yeah,
was very satisfying to see them follow it through. And as ridiculous of a premise as it is, the fact that there was realistic elements in how it was resolved was very refreshing because that does not happen in a lot of these cheesy. Because again, yeah, this is a cheesy slasher Christmas movie. This isn't like a serious type, movie. It's all about the cheese, and it does it to great effect, but is unique in such a way that it keeps you engaged and surprised
yeah,
by the time that you're opening this present of a conclusion to the movie. Um, and so the other thing too is the effects that they fucking did, dude. The way it was edited and they shot all the car stuff or ambulance stuff was out of this world. It
yeah,
felt so fast and quick and brutal with all of the wrecks whenever they back up into the tree or the other car that's there. It felt like I was in the goddamn accident. Like it had this shake and this percussion to it
yeah.
that it felt very natural and kept me like whoa, that was like a, because here's that's the thing, a lot of like low budget movies will cheap out on those kind of effects because it's costly for the vehicle or have the rig to shoot it in such a way, but they shoot and or edit it in such a way that it felt like a very percussive hard impact when I'm
Yeah,
sure they weren't that hard because actor safety is paramount.
right.
It's wild. I saw behind the scenes where the director, fuck, I don't want to, Joe Bagos, was shooting with other guys in their vehicle, and then the lead actress is in the ambulance with the fucking Santa Claus on a rig attached to the back of the ambulance with the VFX shooting snow onto the windshield, and they're driving down the street and they're shooting it from this car next to it, and it's like this is like what they do in the fucking Hollywood big budget type shit, and they're doing it like in its low budget way, but it
Yeah.
looks remarkable. The lengths that they went to just make this look as good as it possibly could. I saw some dickhead complaining about the saturation of the film, and I'll tell you what, fuck right off because it looks beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah, it is abusive to my eyeballs, and that's what I want because
yeah,
that's what I love about this holiday season is like that it's like all of those colors. I loved that.
yeah,
And so I think that's not a neg, that's a highlight.
yeah. It was gorgeous, and the tons of neon reds, pinks, blues, purples, and then the contrast of the green at the end cutting through there. I mean, the movie looked great all the way through. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was low budge, but it was still very pleasing to the eye. I think.
Yeah, and it's like it always just it has an authenticity and an understanding of what it is, and it just wanted to execute that at a high level. All the other indie movies that we've talked and reviewed about that do this well, this is in that same category of great movies that do it well. It's what did I landed at a 7 because like because it's not I don't know. And to be honest, the way I'm talking about it, like I would rewatch this movie
Oh,
instantly. I have
I'm
no problem rewatching it. I'm
I
looking forward to it.
yeah, I will own this movie on Blu-ray. This is absolutely one
Well,
for the
that's the thing,
collection.
because there are technically a good amount of Christmas themed horror movies, way more than Thanksgiving, obviously,
Yeah.
but fun, good ones that have rewatchability are somewhat few and far between because maybe it's like a gimmick and it's like a normal movie with a Christmas element. This has like all of what you would want to have. This is like the people that like Hallmark movies for the Christmas feelings. This is a Hallmark movie for horror Christmas fans.
Right.
If you like Christmas and you like horror, this is your Hallmark movie. This is your horror mark movie to watch every fucking year.
Every year. Yeah, I think I would definitely watch this every year. And also this is a great party movie, a great movie to show your friends if you're feeling like a rewatch. Um, I think I'll watch it every year, definitely.
Oh, and also like not for nothing, and not to like I don't really this. I don't think this will offend anyone, but like it's been a while since like there's been a lead actress that's gotten my dick this hard. Maybe not since Piggy, but I'm telling you, Riley Dandy was like the sex scene with the fucking Robbie Reynolds pulling old school fucking cunnilingus on her. Like, come on, like that shit. One, that doesn't happen a lot. Two, they did it and like she didn't do shit in return, but she was gonna get to it. But like, so too bad for him. He fucking bro goes out without getting anything in return. Rest in peace. But yeah, dude, like she was like, as far as like sexual energy and like having that kind of like that as a final girl, like it's a sex symbol. Like traditionally in horror, like there's an objectification that exists traditionally that's offensive, but I think she has this kind of sexy attitude, fucking metal chick that knows her
Yeah.
shit and is passionate about. That's like a huge turn on. And then like, I'm sorry, but like she's just very attractive. Like it was
No.
satisfying to see her journey and to see the scenes that she was doing. Like it was hot.
Yeah.
Like there's no other way around it.
Yeah, I mean, for a final girl, like she definitely doesn't ever take the a submissive role or a virginal role as a woman. All right, she's the
Right.
she's the boss from jump.
Yeah, if
Uh,
anything, she takes like the traditional gaze type portrayal and objectification, and she kind of like turns it on its head, where she's empowered and
yeah,
she is like in the authority of that of the way that she is presented because she's speaking her truth, or she has more authenticity in that way, which is pretty refreshing and great. If anything,
yeah,
like I'm, yeah, it was awesome. She has a lot of Samara Weaving vibes. I thought.
yeah.
Did you feel that same way?
She's yeah. I'd give her that, but she's Linda Hamilton and Kyle Reese or Michael Bean simultaneously.
Sure, except they're all unattractive people, and she's not.
I'm talking
No
about
offense,
I'm
Linda
talking about her
Hamilton.
character.
Yes, her character. I know. I'm just
And
saying
Linda
that.
Hamilton was hot in Terminator 1, bro.
Like if you like a gross mom, like hot, like in a mom sense, where it's like she's
She
old
she can't
looking.
help that she had a mullet. Like it was the time.
Hey, speaking of mullets, Robbie Reynolds, dude. Like this dude, fucking bro's rocking a mullet.
And a sick mustache.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, do you know he was fucking licking that mustache whenever she was changing that record.
That's right. Okay. Christmas, bloody Christmas. We both gave it a 7, but who knows? That might be an 8. I'm definitely gonna
Yeah,
buy.
no, like yeah, that's like yeah, I'm saying 7 in the grand scheme, but like man, like I love this movie. I am rewatching this movie with Sarah before the end of the night
All right, real quick. Next week,
month.
next week we got The Menu, we've got Bones and All, and
Dun, dun, dun.
our season 2 finale, the best of 2022. So be sure to tune in. I'm sorry, I'm having a issue here.
You're sad because you're thinking about fucking Riley Dandy in the movie. You're starting to salivate like you're prepping, bro. I get it. I get it.
So make sure to
It's a
tune
good
in.
thing. It's a good thing that you're only seeing the top half here. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You need to borrow a book?
Yeah, I can't stand up and go to the chalkboard right now.
Yeah, all right. For episode 24 for the podcast for the recently deceased, I'm Nate Roberts.
I'm Rodney Godek. Take care.
And we'll see you next week.